Welcome to this explainer. Imagine for just a second that you're sitting right here in my chair. I'm booting up the Cambridge Digital Grading Portal. The screen flickers to life, and right there on my dashboard it's loading thousands upon thousands of scanned scripts from candidates literally all over the globe. The coffee is hot, the scripts marked today counter is sitting at 0, and my mark verification meter is locked in. Today, we are looking specifically at Mathematics 9709, and we are diving deep into topic 6.1, the Poisson distribution. We are going to pull back the curtain on this process. I'm going to show you exactly what separates those highly coveted top-tier A-star answers from the rest of the pack, and I'll show you exactly what an examiner sees, thinks, and feels the moment your digital ink hits the screen. We are looking for assessment objectives AO1, AO2, and AO3, and trust me, within the first few seconds, we already know where your script is heading.
15%. I really want you to let that number sink in. That is how much topic 6.1, the Poisson distribution, accounts for in your total examination marks for Mathematics 9709. When an examiner looks at your script, how you handle this single topic, and specifically the absolute core mathematical fact that the mean exactly equals the variance, represented by the parameter lambda, that handling often determines your entire final grade trajectory. We are talking about the literal difference between securing your absolute top university choice and scrambling for backup options during clearing. It is a massive chunk of your grade relying on a single, elegant concept. It's high stakes. But today, we are going to make sure you absolutely do not hemorrhage those crucial marks. We're going to build an airtight strategy.
So, here is our strict syllabus checklist and live marking audit process for today's masterclass. 1. Dissecting the mark scheme. 2. The apprentice peer clash. 3. Earning every method mark. 4. An interactive live marking audit. And finally, number 5, the final grading log. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. Dissecting the mark scheme. I want to take you straight into the mind of the examiner during those absolute first 15 seconds of scanning your response. This right here is an explicit directive straight from the Cambridge Principal Examiner Reports. It reads, "The assessment framework prioritizes analytical depth over superficial breadth." Now, what does that actually mean for you sitting in the exam hall? When we are examining your work on the Poisson distribution, a massive memory dump of every single formula you've ever learned simply will not cut it. Superficial breadth is when a candidate panics, writes down everything they've memorized, and just hopes against hope that anything sticks to the mark scheme. We examiners actually have a name for that. We call it the shotgun approach, and we don't reward it. A top-tier response, an A-star response, requires deeply connected conceptual understanding. Look at command words. There is a massive difference between discuss and evaluate. You have to apply the data to the distribution logically, step by step, to signal to me that you are operating at that elite tier.
So, let's define the core theoretical architecture of this topic right now. Po of lambda. This represents the Poisson distribution where the mathematical mean exactly equals the variance represented by the parameter lambda. Now listen to me. This isn't just some static, lifeless formula you plug numbers into. It is a dynamic, causal relationship. The syllabus explicitly emphasizes that top-performing students exhibit an understanding that is completely transferable to totally unfamiliar contexts. If you just state the formula on the page, sure, you might secure a single basic descriptive mark. But showing exactly how the mean equaling the variance applies directly to the unique specific data set in front of you, showing those cross-topic connections, that is what operates in the highest assessment objectives. That's what gets you the marks that actually matter.
Section 2. The apprentice peer clash. I'm going to open up a split-screen viewport here and observe a live debate between two very archetypal candidates. Let's call them Student Alpha, who we'll name Alex, and Student Beta, who we'll call Sam.
So, I'm watching this recording of Alex and Sam tackling a really high-tariff past paper question. On the left side of our screen, we have candidate Alex. Alex is sitting there aggressively typing, saying, look, I'm just going to list out that events occur independently. I'm going to list that they occur at a constant average rate. If I dump all these textbook definitions on the page, the examiner has to give me the marks. But as an examiner reading Alex's script, I am desperately searching for any actual analysis. Alex is dumping massive, completely unorganized paragraphs with absolutely zero application to the actual math problem at hand. Alex is severely lacking analytical depth. Now on the right side, we have candidate Sam. Sam is pushing back, arguing, no, Alex, you need a flowing descriptive narrative. So Sam writes with this beautiful flair, lots of great vocabulary about the data trends, but completely and utterly ignores the core mathematical command word. Sam dances entirely around the numbers without actually proving that the variance equals the mean. It is incredibly frustrating to read. Both of these students are actively, needlessly forfeiting critical marks because they fundamentally misunderstand what I am looking for.
Let's look at this grading rubric table.
because this hierarchy beautifully illustrates exactly how the mark scheme actually functions. Let's map our two students, Alex and Sam, right onto this rubric. Alex is completely stuck down at the descriptive level. Basic definitions, superficial breadth. That is a low-tier D-grade band at best. To move up the ladder, you have to hit the analytical level, where you are actively questioning assumptions about the Poisson data and considering different mathematical perspectives. But if you want to reach the absolute top, the evaluative level, you must provide full comparative analysis. You need an evaluative thesis link. Listen closely. Evaluative math requires showing explicitly how your calculated lambda compares to the theoretical model and doing so using hard comparative evidence. You have to evaluate the alternatives. Neither Alex nor Sam is doing this, which is why neither of them is getting the A star today.
Section 3. Earning every method mark. I'm going to push back from the marking desk for a quick tactical reset here because we need to talk about the method mark strategy where you can earn marks purely for your process.
Actually, timeout. Let's pause the marking timer completely for a second. Before I grade this final model paragraph from Alex and Sam and show you the exact mistake that literally cost thousands of candidates their A star, let's secure your own academic trajectory. Hit the subscribe button for AC Exams at ACE Exams right now and turn on all notifications. Whether you are sitting for IGCSE, O-levels, AS, or full A-levels, this explainer is your direct channel to outsmarting the marking desk. Okay, timer's back on. Let's look at a logical blueprint designed specifically to catch you when you panic, to fix those logical roadblocks, and to secure your grades step by step.
I am going to dictate this 5-part procedural framework out loud, and I want you to internalize it. This is the standardized sequence you must flawlessly follow for any multi-stage 6.1 Poisson problem. Step 1. Deconstruct the question. What is the exact command word Cambridge is using? Step 2. Extract relevant data. Pull out your mean immediately. Step 3. Select the analytical framework. You must explicitly confirm PLA of lambda is appropriate because the events are independent and random. Tell me you know why you're using it. Step 4. Execute with clear mathematical notation. And Step 5. Present with correct terminology. If you follow this rigorous structural blueprint, you systematically process the complex problem. You build a logical string. And even if your finger slips on the calculator during Step 4 and your final number is wrong, you will still secure every single method mark available for your process.
Section 4. The Interactive Live Marking Audit. I'm handing my digital grading pen over to you. Put your examiner hat on. We are going into a high-stakes, interactive live marking workshop based on actual text data.
But before we look at a script, you need to arm yourself. I'm rapid-firing these 3 fatal mistakes straight from the principal examiner reports. These are the specific errors that cost thousands of candidates their top grades. Examiner warning number 1. Students constantly forget to include the proper format, explicitly defining the distribution as Poisson of lambda. Warning number 2. Candidates will execute the math brilliantly, but fail to check the format and presentation of the final answer. And warning number 3, and guys, this is the absolute biggest killer on the paper, providing generic answers that are not specific to the given context. It makes me want to pull my hair out. Candidates will write a theoretically perfect, gorgeous calculation and then completely ignore the real-world scenario entirely. Let's see this in action.
Spot the penalty. The clock is ticking. You have a 10-second visual countdown in your head. Look closely at the authentic, flawed sample student paragraph on your screen. The candidate has calculated lambda perfectly. They have beautifully written out the formula step by step and arrived at the exact correct numerical value. But as the examiner, I am holding my digital red marker and I am actively withholding 5 critical marks from this response. Where is the weak link? Where does this otherwise totally flawless execution break down into descriptive fluff? Did you spot the highest yielding flaw? Let's apply the penalty and see.
Penalty applied. Look right there at the highlighted section. The candidate correctly calculated that the mean equals the variance equals lambda, and let's say they got a value of 4.2. But then, they just stopped. They literally just wrote lambda equals 4.2 and moved on to the next question. This is the classic tragic mistake. They failed to link the calculated lambda back to the specific context of the given scenario. It broke the logical string. If the exam question was about the number of network failures per hour, the answer absolutely must explicitly state, therefore the Poisson distribution models an average of 4.2 network failures per hour. I cannot stress this enough. Every single analytical point you make must be explicitly deeply anchored to the context of the question.
To ensure you literally never face that red marker penalty, I'm dropping a quick, surprising study hack straight from the examiner's lounge. When you are sitting in that exam room under intense pressure, your working memory shrinks.
It happens to everyone. So create a mnemonic using the first letters of key terms to lock in this 6.1 formatting sequence. Think back to our 5-part procedural framework: deconstruct, extract, select, execute, present. DESEP. Make up a phrase. Does every student execute perfectly? Or whatever creative phrase works for your brain. Use it to automatically trigger the precise definitions and execution steps the exact second your eyes see the word Poisson on the exam paper.
Section 5. The final grading log. Let's watch as our students, Alex and Sam, seamlessly assemble their rewritten, completely flawless response paragraph using everything we've talked about today.
I want to distill this entire marking session into 3 universal marking truths, mapped directly across the chronological timeline of tackling a single exam question. 0 to 15 seconds, that is the structure and data scan. You are deconstructing the command word and extracting the data matrix immediately. Minute 1 to 5, the mark per minute velocity execution. You deploy your framework, you state Po of lambda, and you are securing those method marks systematically, step by step. And then, the final minute, the quality review pass. You verify your formatting and you absolutely ensure every single mathematical point connects directly back to the real-world scenario. This timeline right here, this is the absolute DMA of top-tier A-star performance in the Cambridge portal.
Our live marking session is officially closed. As you've seen today, mastering the Poisson distribution isn't just about rotely memorizing that the mean equals the variance. It is about analytical depth, procedural rigor, and explicitly telling the complete, context-driven story behind the data. So practice those past paper questions. And before you go, drop a comment below right now with your subject, your qualification level, and your current target grade. And absolutely make sure you subscribe to Ace the Exams at Ace the Exams and click that notification bell so you don't miss our next Examiner Masterclass. I'll see you in the next one. Keep up the hard work.